553,778,260 naira only, of which the sum of 12,900 million only is for overhead costs, and the balance of 48,653,778,260 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for the financial year ending 31st December 2023. Honorable members will recall that the report was late on Thursday, 30th November 2023. Honorable Aliu Mukhtar Batera is hereby, Honorable Aliu Mukhtar Batera will move for the consideration of this report. Thank you.
Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, that this House do consider the report of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory and a supplementary bill for an act to authorize the issue of Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account for the total sum of 61,553,778 naira 260 kobo, only of which 12,900,000 is for overhead costs, while the balance of 48,653,778 naira 260 is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory Abuja for the financial year 31st December 2023. I so move, Mr. Speaker.
Any seconder?
You may recall, in line with the provisions of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, a communication from the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces was read at the plenary on Tuesday, 28 November 2023, seeking the approval for a supplementary budget of FCT 2023 statutory appropriation for an act of the Federal Capital Territory Administration of the sum of 61,553,778 naira 259.93 kobo, with view to accommodate additional inflows comprising receipts from Paris Club, payee tax liabilities, special intervention funds, palliatives, internal generated revenue, and infrastructural support fund. In accordance with Section 62, Section 80, 88, 89, and 299 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, the House Committee on FCT met with the Honorable Minister and relevant officials of the Federal Capital Territory and deliberated on the subject matter and resolved the modalities to handle the exercise. Recommendations down the total revenue, 61,553,778,260. The total recommended 61,553,778,260. Honorable Speaker, honorable colleagues, in considering the supplementary budget, time is in excess of the two committees. Both the Senate and the House of Representatives of the FCT Committee work together to present the one version report to be considered by the two chambers. On behalf of the committees, I hereby present the recommendation for consideration. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
In respect of the bill itself, the Director of Treasury of the Federal Capital Territory Administration shall, when authorized to do so by warrant signed by the Minister, Federal Capital Territory Administration, with responsibility to pay out of the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration during the financial year 2023, the sum specified by the warrants not exceeding in the aggregate 61,583,778,260 naira only. Carried? Then the clause 2 is all amounts appropriated under this bill shall be made from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund only for the purposes specified in the schedule to the bill. Carried? 3, all revenues accruing to the Federal Capital Territory Administration, including the statutory revenue distribution, shall be paid into the Federal Capital Territory Administration's statutory revenue account, and no money shall be withdrawn from the account mentioned in Clause 3, Clause 1, above without appropriation by the National Assembly. Carried? Where due to revenue shortfall, amounts appropriated under this bill cannot be funded, the Minister of Federal Capital Territory shall seek from the National Assembly a waiver not to incur such expenditure. Carried? The bill may be cited as the Federal Capital Territory Supplementary Statutory Appropriation Bill 2023. Carried? We go to the recurrent non-debt expenditure. The total under this, under Clause 1, subtotal is 2,200,000,000. Carried? Clause 2 of the non-recurrent FCT Department of Human Resources Management, the total subtotal is 3,300,000,000. Carried? 3, Department of Information and Communication, subtotal is 2,800,000,000. Carried? FCT Legal Secretariat, subtotal is 1 billion. Carried? Facilities Maintenance and Management Department, subtotal 1,600,000,000. Carried? Abuja Environmental Protection Board, subtotal 1,500,000,000. Carried? Satellite Towns Development Department, subtotal 500,000,000. Carried? General summary, total recurrent 12,900,000,000. Carried? We go to Part B, which is capital expenditure. The total capital expenditure as itemized engineering services FCDA 30,543,778,200. Carried? Public buildings FCDA 15,110,000,000. Carried? Bus rapid transit and transport regulations 3 billion. Carried? Total capital expenditure 48,653,778,260. Carried? Grand total for recurrent and capital expenditure combined 61,553,778,260 naira. Carried? Explanatory memorandum. Long title. Thank you. Leader, can you move?
Mr. Speaker, Julius Ihovere, DSSRS. I rise to move that the House do revert to plenary and for the chairman to give a report to the House. I so move.
Mr.
Any
Speaker,
seconder?
Mr. Speaker, I rise to second the motion as moved by the House Leader. I so second.
Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. House has reverted back to the plenary. Thank you. This is the report of the Committee of Supply. The House and Committee of Supply considered the report of the Committee on Federal Capital Territory on a bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 61,553,778,260 naira only, of which the sum of 12,900 million naira only is for overhead costs, while the balance of 48,653,778,260 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for the financial year ending on 31st December 2023, and accordingly approve clauses 1 to 5, the schedule part A and B, explanatory memorandum, and the long title of the bill. Leader, can you move that the House adopt the report of the committee?
Mr. Speaker, Julius Ihanvere.
Leader, can you move that the House adjourn to tomorrow? Okay, sorry, there are some announcements to be made. Honorable colleagues, there is an announcement coming from the Committee on Appropriation. The first, you move that we do the third reading of the bill for FCT. Those in support of this motion should say aye. Those against should say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, can you read the long title of the bill?
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members. A bill for an act to authorize the issue from the Federal Capital Territory Administration Statutory Revenue Fund of the Federal Capital Territory Administration account the total sum of 61,553 naira, 61,553,778,260 naira only, of which the sum of 12,900 million naira only is for overhead cost, while the balance of 48,653,778,260 naira only is for capital projects for the service of the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, for the financial year ending on 31st December 2023. Third reading.
Bill read for the third time and passed. Leader, can you move that the House adjourn to